Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here we have an article from the Motley Fool. I will leave it in the description down below so you guys could check it out. T-Mobile's free cash flow is about to explode. So a lot of people are going to kind of be confused about that. And, well, what does that really mean, right? Does that mean all of a sudden that T-Mobile is going to be this gigantic company that's just going to be loaded with cash? So I wanted to bring some perspective to it. So from a overall business, right, T-Mobile is getting ready to, I would say, be a very successful company. Right now, they spent a little more on capital than they would have liked, but that was just to further accelerate the points listed, the key points listed here by the Motley Fool. So T-Mobile recently completed its integration with Sprint. That required the additional accelerated capital for 2022. It's also way ahead on its 5G network build. That was also incorporated in that higher accelerated capital. The company could free up a lot of cash flow for investors. So what happens in terms of them and freeing up the cash flow, and how do they accomplish this? Well, we've talked about it in a previous video. T-Mobile is set to lower the CapEx, the capital, next year by quite a significant amount. So that means less investment into the network. So what happens? All its other financials are going to turn positive, right? The net income, like I said in that video, should be around $1 to $2 billion, which is still below Verizon and AT&T, but far better than they've ever posted as a company. Its free cash flow, of course, is going to improve significantly because T-Mobile pays no dividend. And lowering of the CapEx just means all that money goes back to the company. So some are going to have mixed feelings about this. Some of you are going to say, well, we wish T-Mobile would continue aggressively investing into the network at a higher capital to continuously bring more competition and pressure to the market, right? But then there's going to be some of you, the investors, that are going to be like, well, this is fine and dandy. That $8 to $9 billion potentially that they're going to invest in the capital next year is going to be fine because they're no longer having to worry about the Sprint asset because that's already been integrated. So all of that $8 to $9 billion is going to go back onto the T-Mobile network. That's some of you are going to say that, and some of you are going to feel that way. But it's very interesting to see how close T-Mobile is potentially to becoming that bigger company that they set out to be, right? They're already a bigger company, of course, by taking in all the Sprint customers and assets, but financially they have a ways to go. But, you know, they could flip the script eventually and be that more dominant player in the market space, you know, like a Verizon or AT&T. And that's still years away, right? And when I say years, I'm talking 5+ years, maybe even more, right? Where we could see the day where T-Mobile is having to invest $18, $19, $20 billion in the network, and Verizon having to invest less because they're financially far lower, right? But that's going to take a long time for that to happen. But financially, the way it's going, that $8 to $9 billion, that's going to be T-Mobile's sweet spot. Maybe they push it to 10, depending, right? Depending on the positive business, how much additional success that they potentially see. But they clearly stated recently that this was the peak year on capital, which is crazy to say. I mean, they have been investing in this integration and build out since 2020, but they said 2022 was a peak year for the company. So be expecting a drop in CapEx for the guidance for 2023. We will get that guidance at the fourth quarter earnings call. And I'm anticipating it to be between $8 to $9 billion, but I still believe T-Mobile will guide to be at the high end, which is the $9 billion. That's what I'm anticipating T-Mobile to guide. If they do $9 to $10 billion, that would surprise me. But I think the $8 to $9 billion is the sweet spot for T-Mobile. And then if they see acceleration and growth in certain businesses, or they see an opportunity to strike, then once again, I could see them raising the CapEx each quarter throughout the year 2023. So I'll leave this article in the description down below so you guys can check it out. Let me know what you think. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to the channel. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.